Welcome back to the channel, guys. Owner Arnas here, and today we're going to talk about how to reach US audience even if you're located outside of the US, or if you're located inside the US and you still have the same problem. I'm going to talk about that. So first of all, thanks to my lovely audience, I got this comment. How can I target region from America and UK if I live in a third world country or region? I said, great idea, going to make a video about this. So first of all, this is my page, Passionate Income, and I have 45% US audience on it. Had 1 million followers, which is, on a page like that, pretty impressive. So I know what I'm talking about, and I get this question a lot, even from agencies who are buying promos. They're like, how do you have such a high US audience? And it's very simple, and I'm going to talk about it today. You can check out my page over here called Passionate Income on Instagram. Take a look at this, 75,000 likes in one day, 60,000 likes in one day. Going crazy, okay? Page is going crazy at the moment. 150K in 4 days, and it never stops. It never stops, it never disappoints. 56,000 likes in a few days, 50,000 likes in 5 days, and I can keep on going and going. 420K likes in 6 days. Past week has been a crazy one, okay? And content is booming. And the beautiful part about this, I have 45% US audience here, but the newest posts, like all of these posts that I'm talking about right here, they're reaching around 60% US audience, which is even better. So check my page out if you want to. And Owner Arnas, follow me on Instagram, right? I post some cool pictures of my life, and then I post cool stuff about Instagram, okay? Check that out. So let's get straight into it. How do you reach US audience? First of all, why do we want to reach US audience, right? Why is it important? So generally speaking, the more US audience you have, the better, the more money you're gonna make, okay? So it's very simple. That's the reason why people want to reach US audience. It's the biggest buying power, right? And probably out there in the US, you have like UK, Australia, Canada, countries like that, but US is like a superpower we want to reach, right? And if you're located outside of the US, like, you know, I've been to US, but I never lived in the US, so, and I have majority of my audience from the US, right? That's like pretty interesting. How do you do that, right? So, first of all, one thing to mention, never use VPNs or eSIM cards or any hack. There's no hack, okay? There's no one little hack you're gonna do that's gonna just boom and you have like 100% US audience. That's impossible at a high scale, and don't do that, okay? Don't do that. It's not gonna help. Instagram is smart enough to know what's going on, okay? So to understand how to attract the people you want to attract, first, you have to understand their behavior, okay? You have to understand what they like, what they don't like, what they look at on social media, what they don't look at, what they find cringe, what they don't find cringe, and so on and so forth. What they find valuable. You just have to know your avatar, okay? Because if you don't know your avatar, how will you attract them? Like, it's impossible, right? You don't know who you're looking for, so you're not gonna find them. But if you do know their behaviors and their habits and what they usually do, you'll attract them, obviously. So that's number one. And I'll tell you one example, right? And like just an example, US, what I've noticed over the past 4 years, working with clients from the US and gaining this audience, a lot of people from the US tend to not follow very small pages just because they're used to following more established brands, okay? And that's just how it is, right? People from other countries, probably from third world countries, don't even look at that. They don't think of that. But people from the US notice that, okay? And they tend to follow more established brands, especially on Instagram, okay? That's number one. Not saying that every single person in the US will not follow you if you have 10 followers, but the majority, what they tend to do is they're gonna follow you if you have more followers. So, for example, one of my students, I remember, almost a year ago now, he had like 20,000 followers, and he was like, "Yo, my like US audience is dropping significantly, and my Indian audience is going up. And like, how can I reach more US audience?" And I told him, "Look, your content already is great. You don't want to change the content. It's working. You're gaining followers, and follower is a follower regardless. Like on Instagram, doesn't matter where they're from. It's still gonna show up as the same number, right? 100,000 followers is 100,000 followers. Some may be more valuable than others, but it's still followers." So I said, "Great, you're growing now. You don't have a problem of being shadow banned or having bad content." So I was like, "Wait a second, you have 20,000 followers." I told him, "When you hit 100,000 followers, you'll see a big increase in US audience." And he couldn't believe me. So fast forward a few months later, he hit 100,000 followers, and obviously his audience started growing more towards US side. Okay, more people started following him from the US, and I told him, "Look, this is just simple human behavior. Like, I knew this is gonna happen because I've experienced with it. I coached a lot of people; they had the same thing. Uh, so now he has like 1 million followers, and I think like 40% US audience, right? And when he was at like 20,000 followers, it was like mainly Indian audience, like 35-40%. Okay. And it changed, right? Um, the main like secret sauce here is not the hack you need to do, or not like any trick you want to do. You just want to cater your content to your avatar. Okay, so if you're like, if you are targeting people in the UK, are you gonna upload people from Australia, or I don't know, somewhere else, right? No, if you're targeting people from the UK, you're gonna try to avoid uploading people from the US, right? It's just natural. You're gonna try to upload people who have British accent, right? It's just natural. You're gonna try to make jokes. If you have a meme page, you're gonna try to make jokes that relate to people in the UK, okay? That people naturally in other countries wouldn't get. I'll give you another example. How I gained a huge US audience. When I was at like 100,000 followers, I already had 35% US audience, which is very good, especially on like a finance business page. How did I do that? Very simple. Again, I cater to my avatar. So I knew I wanted to attract people in finance, business, investing in the US. Okay, so what did I do? I started uploading videos about Roth IRAs, about American credit cards. I know people have credit cards in other countries, but US is the most advanced when it comes to credit cards, like the travel points you get or Amex points, and the whole system is a bit different, okay? Then I was talking about how to increase a credit score in the US, like how to get your credit score to, I don't know, 750 or whatever in the quickest amount of time. Then I was talking about FHA loans, which obviously FHA loan only exists in the US. Obviously, there are like equivalent types of loans in other countries, but FHA, that term is only used in the US. Okay. I was uploading videos, just the type of videos that people from the US could relate. Okay. Roth IRAs, credit cards, 401ks, job security, like whenever I would upload a video about someone getting a job, high paying job, it would be in dollars, okay? So it wasn't in euros, or it wasn't in pounds. It wasn't in any other currency. It was in US dollars, okay? So then people can relate who are from the US, and people from other countries cannot really relate. So does that make sense? That's what you want to focus on. Because if you focus on extremely general content, just like, oh, a luxury car drove past, you can upload that content here and there, but in general, you want to cater to your avatar, which is probably US or whatever you're targeting. So that's the best way to attract the people, right? You basically give them what they want. You talk about things they are familiar with, and they need. Okay, US is pretty easy to handle, especially like in a niche like mine. You have so much content about finance, credit cards, the Roth IRA hacks, whatever. Um, like I probably know more stuff about all of the American finance and credit system than like an average person from the US, because I consume so much content about it. And yeah, it's crazy. Like I know all the stuff you need to know when it comes to personal finance, for people living in the US. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's how you reach people in a specific country. So maybe you're trying to target people in Australia, Melbourne, or whatever. Then you need to create content for that. You cannot like create content general, like a car driving past in Monaco, and expect people from Melbourne to follow you. No, you're gonna film, if you have a car spotting page, you're gonna film cars you spot in Melbourne. Okay, that's just an example. So you have to kind of limit yourself, location and culturally wise. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to reach out to me on my personal brand, feel free to do that. Owner Arnas on Instagram. Maybe you have a page, you want to know how to monetize it. Let's have a talk. Shoot me a message. I'll shoot you a voice note back. Yes, it's going to be me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment. Again, this video was recommended by a fan of mine who asked, how can I target these regions? And here I made a video. So if you have a video idea, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.